ahum banzarangara padma sadardo 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 ahum banjarangara 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 padma sadardo. 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 Ahum banzarangara padma sadarda ahom 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 banzarangara padma ahom banzarangara padma sadarda 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 ahom banzarangara पद्मासदर्द आहूं बांजरंगर 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 पद्मासदर्द आहूं banzarangara padma sadarda ahom 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 banzarangara padma sadarda ahum banjarangara padma sadardo 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 rangara padma sadardo ahum banjarangara 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 पद्मासदर्द आहूं बांजरंगर 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 पद्मासदर्द ahum banzarangara padma sadarda 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 ahum banzarangara padma sadarda
Om Sambara Sambara Bhamana Saramaha Sambaba Hum Palasoha Om Sambara Sambara Bhamana Saramaha Sambaba Hum Palasoha Om Sambara Sambara Bhamana Saramaha Sambaba Hum Palasoha Om Nantadanam Dharam Janananda Bhabdashim Shobji Janabji Paya Sanje Juda Gindana Bhagavad Sokan Lab Sham Salat Bhagabdashi Shodane Yarabot Satanan Tundur Gon Shamba Janwal Gita Wadatam Bakan Lagomba Yachira Dagba Janan Hambor Taram Bhagatalata Wadatana Simchanan Hamja Largon Jagba Walayatsaman Zalba Sarabata Walatim Sansaman Tubi Tashi Walam Hilawa Debara Shagba Jalab Sham Salalom Jam Holajan Wardana Durjim Zanab Shere Zawang Gumbo Shambo Wala Saye Nyambo Rabanam Bereselenam Ki Nyambo Pagam Chagandab Zan Apala Durji Parkara Shantan Urva Davara Janya Mayab Sham Sanan Laganam Tashi Waladim Chogab Shanchib Senwa Jalab Sham Zalalo Enchinadim Chogam Tashi Serja Nyam Dom Jom Wamza Yalon Kamadan Yantragadon Panzo Wanabi Manabajaram Sana Wam Jiram Kurlos Ter China Tamcho Jeb Sham Sanan Janam Shote Jarava Chojab Jeep Yadama Garsong Jambi Walapila Wab Jashil Hamu Jalab Sham Zalalo Samba Chimbu Dim George in Midava Berton Danda Jalabu Yelam Kuraton Pakache Bod Lawam Mabzanam Turti Dim Harzim Kurlo Tantra Shalata Donton Durji Janam Bawa Radam Churtin Jam Sanam Zanas Hasamanis Gela Jashi Pidan Chitan Jo Jalab Sham Zalalo Dagatam Darab Shawa Sumba Lab Gatani Varan Sewa Kanajanim Dotuna Walampir Santuna Yabjan and Tashi Dela Pansam Sopara Shana Kandalami Yubjalan Chora Ruramojan and Chanjala Zinab Zamso Jib Jidanavi Munam Nib Shombi Kanam zam chudu bachananji Zijaraji Namo Ranajaya Namo Bhagavati Bandar Saradamridana Banzar Mahabandar Mahadim Bandar Mahabiyam Bandar Mahabuddha Sutam Bandar Mahabuddha Mandupa Sandramana Bandar Sarvakarma Warana Bishutanam Bandar Swana Morana Jaya Namo Bhagavati Bandar Saradamridana Tatangata Arahati Samyak Sampataya Talayata Banziri Mahabandiri Mahatim Bandar Mahabiyam Bandar Mahabuddha Sutam Bandar Mahabuddha Mandupa Sandramana Bandar Sarvakarma Warana Bishutanam Bandar Swana Morana Jaya Namo Bhagavati Bandar Saradam Mardana Tathangataya Arahati Samyaksam Badaya Tariyata Banziri Mahabandir Mahatinda Bandar Mahabiyam Bandar Mahabuddha Satam Bandar Mahabuddha Mandupa Santarmanam Bandar Sarvakarma Warana Bishudanam Banjiri Sohaya Malisim Janan Kananja Gunam Jirajan Dalade Honji Mam Zadam Jum Zadalha Gunam Madim Janam Chenan Jerapa Chamadanam Kurji Nindara Shasai Zole Dadam Rolam Tim Zim Shir Nyalajadam Charam Tayina Chitadam Churabab Dabjadaba Tetadam Chamadan Shisai Zole Bagban Jam Horajan Chirbala Sham Janyala Satab Shabji Jitana Tisama Sharpa Maya Sangekan Dagima Lete Taratam Chadala Letang Yada Tamim Shabjo Zambu Shurba Mulamat of Taraki Jaravatam Chadaya Jem one Samanda Janga Dalanyala Lera Batarpai Jaravakan Rabda Shamsalado Darji Dana Dalanyala Sanjina Sanji Tikin Wina Jipata Tetara Chuja Namalipa Tamchada Jarava Taki Gambaramo Tetaram Garba Mazala Jamso Lama Yanji and Lava Jamsu Dekanji Jarava Kanji Yundan Rabjada Jam Devara Sharpa Tamchada Dakim to Damban Chama Dambata Saranyana Namdam Shipa Dim Chota Maramim Chota Dipu Dambayi Jarvate Talanam Chuparaja Nabza Dambanam Tantam Chota Shima Paramaram Yambata Kodapa Chalaparaban Chokananji Jarvate Talanam Chuparaja Churbaganam Lamila Jachiva Teta Jarvatam Chadalayamu Zambu Shula Talputu Taraki, Jarva Kanab Sham Salam Chopurabja, Dolchar Zerdan to me, Wangina, Litan, Yartan Tivjan Yetija, Riba Daki, Jipan Chimchipa, Tetaratam Jadaki, Sosurubsha, Shokji, Jarva Kanda, Sanji, Ranjidan, Love, Roy can Jim Sonam and Kanlayan, Tetara can Jis of Diera. Kanam of Jim Jitin and Dorman, of Shanchiver and Beresanji, Machami, Gombo Teta, Ducky, Tamchadalam, Corlom, Lana, Milbam, Corber, Young and Datuna, Kamjada Teta, Lam, Dua, can love Ham Jean de Wilshire, Carpaz and Gadam Yelavi Paraya, Ducky, Talamor of Jeros over of Je, Shamsadabatam Church. Shabata, Jesus, Jean, Kazam, Sorvaya, Giva, Jones of Ducky, Chap Sarapa, Tamchana Ducky, Shanchab, Shab, Janab, Jipas, Hanji, Dandi, Tamchada, Tapchalani, Pub, Shanchip, Saint Chimbonam, Lama, Durjim, Zamba, Chimbonam, Dalargon, Shanchip, Yamburum Chiji, Wara, Sanji, Namla, Jepsum, Chudam, Shanchip, Saint Wire, Sola, on Division of Jepsum. Chiji, Wara, Sanji, Namla, Jepsum, Chudam, Shanchip, Saint Wire, Sola, on Division of Jepsum. Shanchip, Yamburum Chiji, Wara, Sanji, Namla, Jepsum, Chudam, Shanchip, Saint Wire, Sola, on Division of Jepsum. Tara, one jeep, the Sharajim, Shanchibitin, Terpata, Shanti Basim Quim La Pala, Teta Ramjana Nipatar, Dipjan and Dola Pandunda, Shanti Basim Nam Jeb Jason, Dipjan and Tanam La Pala, and Babjan Dab La Parabja, Jataran one Jeb de Sheradim, Shanti Batin and Jeb Badam, Shanti Basim Quim La Pala, Teta Ramjana Nipatar, Dipjan and Dola Pandunda, Shanti Basim Nam Jeb Jason, Dipjan and Tanam La Pala, and Babjan Dab La Parabja. Chatarangon jeep de shagajib, Shanti Batin and Jepadam, Shanti Basim Queen La Pala, Teta Ramjanani Pahtar, Tibjan and Dola Pandunda, Shanti Basim and Jeb Jajan, Tibjan and Nam La Pala, Rembabs and Dam Lama Tanti, Dartim River, Yudame, Yud Balak Paratab. Terang Sanji research, Sanji is a Tajaratu. Tanab the kitchen, Jari Tantam Burley Samandem, Jumadam Zamburim Dala, Yoperman Jeratetarabsha, no if Shatara Pambuni, Chetarin Chinan Batar, Tives and Jersey 13, Shanchip Simna Dalarchi. Come to the job, Shangaram do at the Shaganyaton, what of the Lamdrundum Buzananji, Tatan Haman Lasogavaraji, Shanchipisim Choram Bochi, Marchi Panamachi, Chipan Yamba, Miparayan, Kone Kondam Heverasho, Shanchipisim Dam and Derajam, Shanchipishal Labjaravata, Sanji Namji Yomzonja, the Jelena Mafavrasho, Shanchipisim Juan and Gina, Rutan and Lagon Drivisho. Gomboina Gargomba, Simchana, Simchana Damchada Data, Danjirji, and Rutam Chadata, Don Barasho, Chanchivas and Wakanta Sarjipa, Hitaganja, Molamam Japarasho, Omahoja, Dechana Barba, one go for Branda, they told us to Payshir, Achadeb Bamiram Jane, Durjania Mana, Chimbukan, Churkana and Dai, Durjijum, Jitana Wamsi, Chazi, Parmajabum, Kundinga Wamjer. Not the son of once in here. Some I see Bandra, them Chandor Pajapu, the Chiniter, Manager game to rip the man, sometimes of the one she get donker. One to the Durje, Wawaki, not only by Chimbung on Yerata, Durjeka, Carchita, Samayo, Government some good jetting comes some good. Was there a Marpum Conde on La Chabataji, Tom to the ocean, the parachute, Durje Chabach, Chimbuti, Namia, Godrum, the game, Chotodoja, Durje Chabach, Chimbu, not to the Chimburum Sherapa, Tai Jim to the Tavaro, Karajan, and the Jacon of Shiva, Jim Zip, Ramjam Sasama, Wangal had so like Gibis and the Subsinjilo, Chotan and Hudrum, the game Quantado, told me I want the Shirpan, Jerusalem, Shub, the Chinbarava, Wango of Janta, they don't so sort of pay a shirk. I shall did then by me, Ramjani, Dujania Mana, Chimbohan. Dujichum, Jitana Wamsi, Chose, and my Jerbum, Kundinga, Wamjer, not to the no once in Hereg. Some I see Bandra, them John the Pajapo, the Chinitiri, and nature game to rip Shiriman, Chotam Shadi, Wamsi, the Tonker, one to the Durje, Wawaki, not only in Bachimbong, and yet Durjeka, Garchester Samayo, Gamalasum Gabjadin comes some good. Was there a Marbum Kundi on like Habataji, Tom Chadeo, the Peripshit, Durje Chabach and Butina, Namia, Godum, the Gim Chotos, Durje Chabach in Bui, and after the day, Chimburum Sherepa, Tai Jim to the Tavaro Karjan, and the Jacon of Shiva, Jim Zipa, and Jam Sasamawangal had Sola, Ibizro and Dip Subsinjilo, Chotan Hudrum, the Gim Quantata, told me the one Dip Zilbum, Jerusalem, Bechin Barava, Wanga Poptanta, they don't so sort of pay a shirk. Match of Dip done by me, Ramjani, Durginia Mana, Chimbukan, Churkana and Dai, Durjichum, Jitana Wamsi, Chozik, and my Jerbum, Kundinga, Wamjer, not to the no once in Hereka. Some I see Bandara, them Chondol Pajarpo, the Chinitiri, Manager Game to Rip Shirima, sometimes of the Wamsi, the Tonker, Wam the Durje, Wawandaki, so not only in Bechimbung, and yet. 你个记着什么用？我们送给别人看什么个？我在那买本困的，我来吃不着的，当起了有上的白皮，都是吃白钱不提劲呢。那年我准备给你吃着了是，都是吃着白钱不一，拿着了的外钱不着东西了吧？他也用着了这玩意儿，搞了钱呢，到了就公外皮外皮么个不？咱们家什么换个他错了，给别说完的是新鲜了，吃他那我准备给换他的，他米的换的皮了不？我这不说了。我见那也见那不像他们白马给是东不来，眼才能吃个我这边你把他们叫你这是张口灯看着忙不过来起来去，几次打这边几心机，路是的小事说了，个人把他们是的这的本个人参加了的，这本人真情不觉得像什么你我不觉得当这不能怪别人错了。所有人都是心结了，不是那上面玩车子，300也不真的白当，找到他们我这做了这半个人参加当，这本人真情不觉得像什么你。心结了不是那上面玩车子的300也不真的白当，找到他们我这做了这半个人参加的，这本人真情不觉得像什么你我不觉得，这心挂着他走了，所有人都是心结了不是那上面玩车子的300也不真的白当，找到他们我这做了这半个人参加的，这本人真情不觉得像什么你我不觉得，这心挂着他走了，所有人都是心结了不是那上面玩车子的300也不真的白当，找到他们我这做了这半个人参加的，这本人真情不觉得像什么你我不觉得，这心挂着他走了，所有人都是心结了是那上面玩车子的300也不真的白当，找到他们我这做这半个人参加的，这本人真情不觉得像什么你我不觉得。所有人都是心结了，是那上面玩车子300也不真的白当，找到他们我这做的这半个人参加的，这本人真情不觉得像什么你我不觉得，这不心挂着他走了，所有人都是心结了，不是那上面玩车子的300也不真的白当，找到他们我这做的这半个人参加的，这本人真情不觉得像什么你我不觉得，这不心挂着他走了，所有人都是心结了，不是那上面玩车子300也不真的白当，找到他们我这做了。前来得了，所有的本体，那个是我刚的你不是不是我是，那大个的碰他不是的是我的，去当这心皮的我咋了都说了，见面了当半年了当天中个那我给面的总结见面去了，让的那男客人就只能讲出会人前的上车把他扭到我当，蹲在上面的小姐上。给那些人都只能看到会是了的，就可什么说的都是一切的装饰，是个夜色能是个家的家乡，是个有那娘们是个得西龙是了那么些人的得是接了花能把的吧。也是我在这里宽阳恰把你我这边的你不能这个说，看着人从苦的借用苦的让真把咱们这人他你哩，咱知道台湾吃喝花的走了哇，家不可能比不得你的钱不认识了，娘这钱不说的那你没让，让你莫那么钱不俺家的，把个人咱们个参图是么的多，说白的这真来不是。大家那个什么给做龙须的鸡，跟他们上去的不真的没年吧？他们来那不是个得当买礼拜，娘你们觉得白这个不说说的不是，他个当说说些我给我的，第四门上来几次也让我，咱家家亲出金苦的路才能上这来见他们吃的不能过的说了，就那能看到为也是个第四门碰见的没把的不是个么来见，对不起那我的见这。这都能讲，这不是个大的那为人做，那跟的什么时候不给做进，快结婚着跟来盘他了的。家里不打个不能你不是的讲，去见家里被公旁都不能说，大家你明着万滚米了那么推荐那个不能送了快真的，让当地的人前的那么什么节，那完真年的接近成年了，但是的讲起我聪明的几辈人，也的期待别娘你说的不那，我就当着全部满年了吧，想吃饭的推荐金子能做的。 lam sanam jirpada zani bchen ji stum bir kle yeshi wazrana zogbana chimbu dagdan simchinan thamchalaji raba thamchadan sarjan thagba chimbu lam ji yundan chalab jinde ji shirmar dagba sanam bar samlam lama tumba chumdan di tebjana shagbada chumba yang da par zob sanji kwar jirwa shagja thaba shagan salam chutur jabsam chewam lama tumba chumdan di tebjana shagbada chumba yang da par zob sanji kwar jirwa shagja thaba shagan salam chutur jabsam chewam lama tumba chumdan di tebjana shagbada chumba yang da par zob sanji kwar jirwa shagja thaba shagan salam chutur jabsam chewam lama tebjana shagbada chumba yang da par zob sanji kwar jirwa shagja thaba shagan salam chutur jabsam chewam lama tumba chumdan di tebjana shagbada chumba yang da par zob sanji kwar jirwa shagja thaba shagan salam chutur jabsam chewam lama tumba chumdan di tebjana shagbada chumba yang da par zob sanji kwar jirwa shagja thaba shagan salam chutur jabsam chewam lama tumba chumdan di tebjana shagbada chumba yang da par zob sanji kwar jirwa shagja thaba shagan salam chutur jabsam chewam tariyato mani mani mahamana izo 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 tariyato mani mani mahamana taleto mani mani mahamana izo taleto mani mani mahamana izo taleto mani mani mahamana izo ha mani mani mahamana izo mani mani mahamana izo mani mani mahamana mani mani mahamana izo mani mani mahamana izo mani mani mahamana izo hai devara shakpa chirka jamda tam kurta gatse chatta jankhamanda chirjen sam chagab zambu chandra wa tenda konarab dagso jiravara sho nami sarvata thangata bayom bakhom khambe sarvata khangate saparana manganga khaso hai jem doton kandav dam thawochi resan ba mi jem da sanchana ja noro dam dal padar phunyin chim solon choto samdo thandram zol jem doton kandav dam thawochi resan ba mi jem da sanchana ja noro dam dal padar phunyin chim solon choto samdo thandram zol jem doton kandav dam thawochi resan ba mi jem da sanchana ja noro dam dal padar phunyin chim solon choto samdo thandram zol Gandab Zamo Yeshi to Bezal, and Jarmo Ekanzatram, Yeshi Dam Ditin Mamo, Solam Chatam Chermim Chanim Zud, Hoin Gandab Zamo Yeshi to Bezala, and Jarmo Ekanzatram, Yeshi Dam Ditin Mamo, Solam Chatam Chermim Chanim Zud, Hoin Gandab Zamo Yeshi to Bezala, and Jarmo Ekanzatram, Yeshi Dam Ditin Mamo, Solam Chatam Chermim Chanim Zud. Trong trong chăm ji chăm bu ra la Japan nam jir do man cha cha da za da je kar ta pa dip jir jim so nam cha tam chur mim chan nim zut sha trong trong chăm ji chăm bu ra la Japan nam jir do man cha cha da za da je kar ta pa dip jir jim so nam cha tam chur mim chan nim zut sha trong trong chăm ji chăm bu ra la Japan nam jir do man cha cha da za da je kar ta pa dip jir jim so nam cha tam chur mim chan nim zut Dam chene chewa chembu tinim sam Gangam poni so Kapchala samgya dikji so dam jim Solam chatam charamim chanim zud Hoin dam chene chewa chembu tinim salam Jibdim tamam zangam poni so Kapchala samgya dikji so dam jim Solam chatam charamim chanim zud Hoin dam chene chewa chembu tinim salam Jibdim tamam zangam poni so Kapchala samgya dikji so dam jim Solam chatam charamim chanim zud 班嘛，王个关键能头我去，切不那这个本地的不样的会人子，买不怪可能这半斤，手龙就等就能成林子，吃班嘛，王个关键能头我去，切不那这个本地不样的会人子，买不怪可能这半斤，手龙就等就能成林子，吃班嘛，王个关键能头我去，切不那这个本地的不样的会人子，买不怪可能这半斤，手龙就等就能成林子的。刚许愿了，咱把咱即将到的本我这得为人在了白呀，就是穷也不是那诺的完全难记，大概三的马里，女人这本子的，俺可能的去看，看在的本啊，让他们给也是我的年long。我花的南江不都是啦，南北接起也不是那诺儿文呀的，嘎达萨拉金怎么办着他也亲亲切的，小姐让了这里我们那，让你觉得中我的责任没人抽，让那这个不见的拉满没人散。你亲热我ser mi rang kama sen jama khwalai thu jep shan lab yedalashman Jimmy Panto Jabala Solorava Deva Gom Jeder Stoba Pover Shenanti Olo Nichinero Sermi Jang Kama Sen Jama Hualai Thi Yep Shan Leb Yedalashman Jimmy De Pen Toy Jabala Zolorava Deva Gom Jeder Toba Pover Shenanji Love Nichinero Sergi Jang Kama Sen Jama Hualai Yep Shan Leb Yedalashman Jimmy De Pantoy Jabala Solorava Deva Gom Jeder Toba Pover Shenanji Lobam Tarnam Lam Olni Tilir Cheranga Pshawani Janya Wintam Jadakan Yeshi Jim Dim Lamada Kalawam Yambub Shinlab Toba Parasam Jiwa ganda yang dam lama dam jimid chujin huala long shu de jiang sadang lam je yun den rab zoni durjim chang gomba nyer thob shoy jam dan dim gombon jam hola yang shagem zal lo gang lo ju jam ye jam ter nye ter nam ra sadavi janyar dong gan jam jam zib jirin ye ke te kar lawan zan kan ta jab zonar mare man than dim la chi zarab do zoga gan ba chim dar di yan la ji ji yon dan son de ter che dom nyam mo nyal hon le che cho do dum da da Mari man sada dem na da nya ka cham nya la cham za da ra ta na man don ne ta ja sab jim dhar sun yon dan le zo ja chi tha wosh ka chatra ja dam jani jan ji dam lo man salam jam khola ya la da da umara patana 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 da Umar Patanado, 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 Umar Patanado. Umara patanado, 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 Umara patanado. Umara patanado, Umara patanado, Umara patanado, Umara patanado, Umara patanado, Umara patanado. Umara patanado, Umara patanado, Umara patanado, Umara patanado, Umara patanado, Umara patanado, Umara patanado. Umara patanado, Umara patanado, Umara patanado, Umara patanado, Umara patanado, Umara patanado, Umara patanado. Umara patanado. Sedanan jerjim cherab wazrajib damlo tame mambarab salani padam tam ju jongle tobayam lojur pab nawab jerada solo
药没有吃，吃了吗？
Have I already taken my medicine?
是吗？
Yes, I did.
真的啊？
Really?
是不是我在入定当中？
Was I in the samadhi, therefore I couldn't remember?
真的吃了？
Really?
嗯。老了，糊涂
I
了。
think I'm getting old and very much confused.
用这件不做的拼命想，我当然不能全部我家的，我给他当工赚到什么多，等把这些钱了给小子儿。那现在我在你想干什么？这会儿对地什么样了？你们碰着着了是吧？我讲这多半破了心机了，我讲多半破了心机了，我讲多半破了心机了。Dorna zongmeryanglan tonjirap tagyewa ji chujir kala sobayir namjam jirna rubrsha samje choyer mepa dang tirik devjin toba dang zanmet plumet chunyet dang odonne ramjin jinya do namgun monzo shangchep dang zhima wakchak pjibar bang samjem nyingan debana dambi tonda nimet nyet Naba tamchit jangmepa sammet jamet yondan dan gayermet sanyet tarwa kangde devjin nyet shirtir rimu zhibshepa zandang zanlam kepa tag gangzi yanglak gangshi pa devjin nizan 대전은 니즈는 메트바란저 대nen달라 킷근지 나이즈그는 기식지 나도 결보 대더라 가이 대더라 나도 결베 대더라 가이랑 제너 진바당 대레 대너 투은지르 대 르모레라 rabjoru tela ngomber jornam la chi yerjan sonjera pa den yerjan sonwena tema changshir rmo de yanlıq tamchida zogbar yanlıq tamchida yong zogbar manjer jin shi hui shi so dernam danda kangyen ba jin dang chim zo la so namba kanjim chordun ba stony tena zis jod sher yishi namjor qsar dam cho da dagshid shir tad de mevshir gotang zir nimi xtirin kor namdam song tina santi mato pam nyon de pam mato te gotang gozir panes nimar tavr mani vjen nimar tavr mani vjen 我们接下来请大家发无上殊胜的菩提
So
心。
now, please give rise to the supreme bodhicitta
继续学习
while listening to this teaching, and let's continue with the class on the Uttara Tantra
大乘宝
Shastra.
训论呢，
In fact,
虽然
this
今年可
Mahayana
能我
Uttara
们
Tantra Shastra
讲的
probably won't
不是特别
be
多，上半年讲
finished
的还可以，
in
然后下半
this
年
year.
因为还有其他的各种课程吧，
We
就
finished
这
some
个
of
原因
it for the first
所以
half of the
呢
year, but
可
because
能
we had other
半个
classes
月当中
planned
讲一
for
堂
the
课，有
second
点
half of the year,
怎
therefore,
么说啊，就是
I
有点
think
离得有点远，
it is a
但
little
是
bit
呢
difficult for us to study
看
a
看吧，
lot
现
of
现
this
在是
class.
这样，可能
And we only have
下个礼
this
拜
one
下个礼
class
拜
per
六
2
是那个
weeks.
论语，
It's
然
a
后再
little
下
bit
个礼拜
scattered,
吧
in
讲
my
一个宝
opinion.
训论，
But we'll
所
see
以
how it
中间
goes.
可能
So next week, on
隔的
the
时间长
next
一点，但
Saturday,
也
we
没
will
事吧，
have
我相当
the
坚持的
class
人，那
on
不
the
管怎么样，
the analects
中间
of
隔的这
Confucius.
个100天的话，都
Well,
应该是可以
I
的。
think for
如果
people
不能
who
坚持
are
的
really
人的话，
interested
那
and
每
who
天这样也
have
是
the
没有什么
perseverance to
差别
listen to
了
the class,
所以
then they can
也是
persevere
现在根据这
no
个
matter
时
if
间的
it's
安排，
a
也
week
是
in between or a
就是
month
不
in
同
between
这
or
个
100
原因
days
需要
in
吧，
between, they
就
will
以这个原因，所以
persistently
呢，
listen
但
to
是
this teaching. Therefore,
就这个
I really encourage you to
2个
do
礼拜
so,
当
to
中讲一堂
persist
课。
in
那么
studying
宝训
this.
论呢，我们这个现在大家都知道，就是讲的是什么呢？就是讲的是
What
这个
is
如来藏
the
品。
teaching
那
of
么如来藏呢，就是
Uttara
宣
Tantra
说的是
Shastra?
总
Where
共
we
有
are right
10
now
个
is in
这个
fact
功
on
德
the first chapter,
其
that
中
is
的
the
话呢，
chapter
其
of
实
the
有
Buddha nature.
8个课
And
班
out
来
of
讲
this,
的。
it
那么这次我
has
们讲的话，应该是最后
8
一个课班
outlines,
里面
and
的，
we're
也
currently
就是
on the
第8
last
个课
one,
班当中，
the 8th
就是这个一切
outline
空的四无二无
that
别，就是
talks
从这个
about the
层面来
non-duality
分
of
的
the。
那么我
qualities.
们上一节课的话呢，
The previous class
就是
we
讲到这
ended
个法身也好，如来也好，
the
圣地也好，涅槃也好，
Dharmakaya,
其实这些
Tadagata,
呢，
Noble
这个
Truth,
功
and
德都是无
Absolute
别的。
Nirvana.
也就
In
是说，
fact,
除了
these
成
qualities
佛
are
以外呢，就是
inseparable.
没有其他的
Other
涅
than
槃
becoming
啊，就是
Buddhahood, other than
当时
Buddhahood,
就是
there
讲了
is
这
no
么一个内
nirvana.
容，
So we
也
stopped
就是说
over
我
there
们那
last
个
time.
答案上是啊，
And
就是
that was
这
in
个三
fact
界道
where
四无常，
Pontsog Rinpoche, the
真正
supreme
去这
teacher,
个
the
法王如意宝经典部中
Sugata,
呢，
the
就是讲
Tathagata,
到
Pontsog
上面的
Rinpoche,
这个寄送的
once
时
he
候呢，就
finished
是展
teaching
示
this
在我
stanza,
们这个
he
娑婆众生面
temporarily
前呢，就
then
是实现这个涅槃呢，就是四圣呢，就是融入这个
manifested
法界，就是那么
parinirvana
这
in
个呢
front of the sentient
我们
beings
前面也提到过，
and
就是具体是
dissolved
什么样
into
的一个
Dharmakaya.
缘起啊，有没
So
有？
that
也
was
许是没
the
有，也许是有。如果有的话呢，
That's
那么
where
就是
he's
法王当时就成
that
了
that
佛以
was
外
in
没有
fact
其
the
他的
last
这个涅
stanza
槃
that Pontsog
那这
Rinpoche
个时候
taught
呢，就是实现
when
涅
he
槃
taught
的
that
话
other than
其实我
Buddhahood
们
there
这
is
个
no
作为初
nirvana,
学者来
and
讲
that's
呢
when
应
he
该就是
entered
可以
into
思考一
into
个问题，
nirvana.
就是它是依
So
靠什么一个缘起来，就是
why don't we
恰好这样的
contemplate
经历的
up
时候
on
呢，就是
how
暂
and
时
why
就是
Pontsog
在我们
Rinpoche
面前呢，就是这个转法论啊，就是从这个13
stopped
岁到这个
turning
70
the
来岁之
Dharma
间
wheel
呢，
for
不
us
断的这个
when
转法
he
论，甚至我们
taught
这
this
个
stanza.
50、60年代的时候
Pontsog
最紧张的
Rinpoche
时候呢，也是
continues
在这个。
he continued to study since he was 13 years old until he was 76. And then in between all these years, even in the 50s and 60s, that was the dark time of the Dharma. He continued to teach in caves, in secluded areas, and in tents, and in areas that's very difficult to find. He continued to give the teaching of the Dharma in various places and to attract people, and then give them the Dharma teachings. And once he finished teaching this stanza, he then entered into parinirvana. For people who have met Phuntsog Rinpoche in person or not, I think lots of people, I think that no matter you met him before or not, you should then contemplate upon why he passed away at the time when he finished teaching over here. He didn't pass into nirvana when he was given teaching on the first turning or the second turning of the Dharma, but he passed into nirvana when he was given teaching on the third turning of the Dharma wheel, the Buddha nature aspect of the teaching, and especially when it talks about other than Buddhahood, there is no nirvana. I think we should all contemplate upon this and discuss upon this. Anyhow, let's continue with the teaching. In terms of the supreme and auspicious connections that we have during the teachings of the third turning of the Dharma wheel, in the Buddha nature teaching, in the profound teaching of the Tathagata the Buddha nature, I think we have such fortune, and we're so very lucky to have this opportunity to listen to this teaching. And it is the most valuable thing that could ever happen in our life. According to Master Xuanzang's translated sutra, that was this way said by the Buddha Sutra. It says that, in fact, it talks about the stories of the Buddha's stories, where it says that in the Buddha's Dharma and Vinaya, one develops sincere devotion. With its growing and strengthening, one will not be converted by evil traditions. So the root of your wisdom, of your faith, of your samadhi, and so on, and of your Vinaya, all of this will not be turned, will not be shaken by the heretics' teaching. In fact, if we were to listen to the Mahayana teachings continuously, then our faith and our devotion and Vinaya would get even more strengthened. Therefore, we should continuously to listen to the Dharma teachings, because this kind of opportunity is in fact quite precious. Because of our education, because of our environment that we grew up, in fact, I think it is quite rare to receive the teachings of the Mahayana Dharma. But now we have encountered the supreme Mahayana Dharma. And if we were to encounter the Buddha's teaching, the Mahayana teaching, when we were old, when we get old and don't have the sharp faculties and don't have the good faculties of eyes, ears, and all of these, then it will be difficult for us to accept as well. So to have this kind of opportunity to listen to the Dharma, especially when you have this faith towards the Dharma, this is in fact quite supreme and precious. And once you listen to the Dharma, it is easy for you to give rise to supreme bodhicitta and compassion towards all sentient beings, as well as wisdom. Therefore, I think have this opportunity to listen to the supreme Buddha nature teaching, to the Mahayana teaching. It is quite a cherishable thing, and you should all be quite joyful about this. You should rejoice yourself, in fact. aspect. Anyhow, last time we talked to the aspect of the inseparability of the qualities, and now we will continue to talk about the four explanations or the detailed explanations of the four synonymous names with the four reasons. So, since the unpolluted expanse has put briefly four different types of meanings, it should be known in terms of four synonymous, the Dharmakaya and so forth. In fact, we should know that this kind of Dharmakaya, this kind of Buddha nature is in fact unpolluted, undefiled. And for this kind of Tathagata Garbha, we should describe it with four types or four aspects of meanings. Later on, we will then talk about the inseparability and the qualities and so on. And out of the four, we will be able to understand about the Buddha nature. Previously, we've already talked about the Tathagata Garbha, the Dharmakaya, the Noble Truth, as well as the Absolute Nirvana. Previously, we've already talked about the four kinds of synonymous names. And there are the four aspects to understand the differences among these four names. And then in the next stanza, it will talk about the different kinds of differences. But in this stanza, it talks about how it is then. So it's a general statement. And then the next one, it says that Buddha qualities are indivisible. The disposition is attained as it is. The true state is always free from any fickleness and deceit. Since beginningless time, the nature has been peace itself. So it is a combination of names and the meaning. And over here it talks about the Buddha's teaching, the Buddha's Dharma, or the Buddha's qualities. In fact, it's then divided into such as the 10 powers and 18 uncommon qualities and the 4 fearlessness. In fact, all of these are already complete at the stage of causal stage. It is not only completed at the stage of Buddhahood. In fact, when at a causal stage, it is already completed in the way that it is indivisible. And in such a way, it is called the Dharmadhatu. So, or the Dharmakaya. In fact, the Dharmakaya is the noble truth that the mundane beings could then realize. And it is not once you attain fruition of Buddhahood, then you'll be able to attain such qualities. In fact, at the causal stage, it is already complete. In the Sutra of Neither Increases Nor Decreases, it says that the so-called profound meaning refers to the highest truth. The highest truth refers to the nature of sentient beings. The nature of sentient beings refers to the Buddha nature. The Buddha nature refers to Dharmakaya. It sounds very easy. In fact, the Buddha nature that resides in sentient beings is called the Tathagata Garbha, as well as the Dharmakaya. So the first point is that it is indivisible. Do not take this teaching as this teaching has nothing to do with me. If you ever want to understand the third turning of the Dharma wheel, you have to then take it into your heart and contemplate upon it. In the second turning of the Dharma wheel, it talks about emptiness. And in the Vajrayana, it talks about the primordial purity, where it talks about the the primordial purity is Dharmakaya, and then the luminosity is Sambhogakaya. It seems that everything is from the basis of emptiness. But in the third turning of the Dharma wheel, where it talks about the Dharmakaya, it talks about the qualities of the Buddha, the different kinds of merits of the Buddha, such as the 10 powers and 4 fearlessness, and those are all wisdom, and all of such wisdom is called Dharmakaya. This is explained from the aspect of indivisibility. And then the next one talks about this disposition to becoming this Buddha, which is the true state present since the beginningless time is directly attained as it is. In the light of this meaning, the undefiled expanse is called the Tathagata, or the one gone to suchness. All suchness is truthfully perceived and truthfully understood, and that is called one gone to suchness. According to the great treatise on the perfection of wisdom, it says that just like there is gold in goldstone, silver in silver ore, in all worldly dharmas there exists the essence of nirvana. So let it be gold or silver. In fact, it is already intrinsically existent in the stone or in the mind that it has it. Just like that, sentient beings, in fact, already have the Buddha nature. In the commentary of the To Arise Faith in the Mahayana Sutra, where it is quoted the great treatise on the perfection of wisdom, it says that there is gold in the gold stone, silver in the silver ore. The fire has the quality of heat, and the water has the quality of moisture. For the same reason, the sentient beings have the quality of Buddha nature. In fact, in the commentary, it then expanded or quoted rather a little bit differently than the ones stated in the great treatise on the perfection of wisdom. Over here, what it talks about is that, in fact, this Tathagata is already intrinsically existent from the beginningless time. It is not that once you study it or once you discover it, then it's there. It's not like that at all. In fact, with your discovery or not, such Buddha nature is already exist in you. That's the second one. The third one is that its nature is the true state, which does not change into something else, is free from any deceit at all times, and free from fickleness or unreliability. This true state has become the field of experience of the primordial wisdom of the noble ones. In fact, if this kind of nature changes or have any kind of changes, then it could deceit. Just like how people, if they change their mind, then they'll make a deceit to others. But over here, why it is noble truth? It is because it is undefiled expanse. It is changeless. It is then devoid of fickleness and unreliability. And the fourth one is that Dharma Dhatu has been by nature utterly pure since beginningless time, and the adventitious defilement have been totally purified up to their very end. And in this light of the meaning, this undefiled expanse is expressed by the term nirvana. So the four terms are explained over here: the Dharmakaya, Tathagata, and the Noble Truth, and Nirvana. These are the four synonymous names, and it is in this verse it explains the names according to its meanings, or from different angles to explain them. In fact, sometimes it's very difficult for us to differentiate the slight difference among the terms such as Tathagata, Noble Truth, and Nirvana. But it is stated very clearly. I really hope that you could read into it and see the subtle differences that is stated over here. The next one is a detailed explanation of their essential meaning and detailed explanation of the fact that the Buddha and Nirvana are no different. Previously, we talked about Tathagata and Nirvana and Dharmakaya and Noble Truth. In fact, all of those are non-dual. They're of no difference. How do you see that their qualities are different? It says that direct perfect enlightenment with regard to all aspects are abandoned of the stains along with their imprints are called the Buddha and Nirvana respectively. In truth, these are not two different things. Over here it talks about the Buddha and the Nirvana. Buddha is then the one who has the perfect realization, and from the aspect of Nirvana, from the aspect of the Buddha, it talks about the merits or the qualities of enlightenment or enlightened ones or realization, and from the aspect of Nirvana, it talks about the qualities of eradication or abandonment. In fact, the Buddha, once they made the perfect realization, it is called the perfect realization or bodhi or enlightenment. At that time, they're called the perfect Buddha. And then from the viewpoint of abandoning all the afflictions and habitual patterns and all of those karmic tendencies, from this aspect, you can call it abandonment or eradication of all of those above. In fact, in the primordial wisdom of qualities of realization and abandonment, in fact, they're completely inseparable and do not exist as two different things. In front of the noble one's personal experience and realization, there are no difference. The enlightenment, the realization, or the abandonment and eradication, they are of no difference. They're of one taste. So from this aspect, the realization and the abandonment, they are speaking of the same thing from two different angles. One is from the angle of making realization. The other one is from the point of view of abandonment. Just as when we clear, when we clean this mirror, if we were to wipe all the dust off the mirror, then we can say that it is cleansed. And after all the dust are wiped off, that mirror could clearly reflect, and this is from the aspect of reflection or realization aspect of the Buddha. So, in fact, these two are in fact both important. The cleanse or wiping off the dust and the reflection quality of the mirror, both of these are important to reflect any image inside of the mirror. But these two are both of equal importance. It is described from the two different aspects. It's not like one dust was fighting from the other dust. It is for the same reason. It is not that once we attain realization that our realization won over our afflictions. It's not like that. There are different descriptions that described in the Pramana teachings or Buddhist logic teachings. The Buddha, or when it talks about the realization and the abandonment qualities, in fact, it is quite clearly stated.
下面呢就是讲这个
There were two aspects, right? One is on the realization, the other one's on the abandonment. So over here it is detailed explanation on the meaning of liberation. It says that liberation is distinguished by indivisibility from qualities present in all their aspects, innumerable, inconceivable, and unpolluted. Such liberation is also called Tathagata. In fact, the qualities of Tathagata is complete with immeasurable kinds of qualities beyond any end. Says because the Buddha or the Tathagata has the complete qualities, therefore it includes all kinds of qualities or merits, including 10 powers and 4 fearlessness. And they have types of qualities that beyond any end, they're innumerable. When we talk about the 10 powers included the 10 kinds of different powers, and out of these, one of this wisdom is the wisdom that could distinguish the object and the non-object. In fact, out of all the wisdom of the Tathagata, he has such kind of quality to distinguish the innumerable kinds of dharma, innumerable kinds of phenomena. That is why we say that out of all the phenomena that is as countless as the sand of Ganges River, in fact, the Tathagata could be able to see all of them and understand all of these kind of phenomena without any kind of obstructions, obscurations. And this kind of wisdom is not being understood by any of the heretics and by the Shravakas and Pratikas, just as how Shravakas don't even understand the deepest teaching of birth, death, old age, sickness, and so on. In fact, lots of mundane beings constantly say that I don't understand, I really don't get it. This is quite smart and very wise, I think. In fact, that shows that you know what you don't know, especially when it comes to comparison to the Tathagata. When you compare your afflictions to those of the Shravakas, you'll be able to see that you have great afflictions. And when you compare yourself in terms of the knowledge, compare such knowledge to those of the scientists, you'll be able to understand that at least you understand what you don't understand. This is quite wise. This is much better that you don't understand than you consider yourself as omniscient. There are people who never studied the profound teachings from the Tripitakas, and they feel that, oh, I have a bachelor degree. I have lots of different scholastic degrees, and I've taught in universities for 30 years, and I've been a professor for 30 years, and I'm almost getting my 10 years. There are lots of titles, PhDs and doctorates and all of those. But when it comes to the most profound truth, how much do you understand? It's very difficult to say if that kind of learning and teaching is related to your degrees and titles. Before I study all these kind of profound teachings, in fact, I always debated with my teachers whenever I have such opportunities. At that time, I really feel that I was really smart and I was really good. I was very eloquent and very good at arguing with my teachers. But once I studied such profound dharmas, my arrogance was then distracted by the profound dharmas that is taught by the previous noble ones. Don't even mention about the wisdom of the Buddha, the teachings given by Chandragirti and Nagarjuna, and all of those great masters. In fact, really gave me lots of lots of the hit on my head, so to speak. In fact, out of all the teachings, I think this text is rather easy, especially when we compare this to the ones of the Pramana teachings of the Buddhist logic, the seven treatises of the Buddhist logic. So compared to that, I think this one's rather easy. Anyhow, my point is to say that the Dharma, in fact, has great qualities and great teachings within profound teachings. So over here, then it talks about the different kinds of qualities, such as the quality of innumerable, the quality of inconceivable, and the quality of undefiled. And what is liberation? Liberation is Tathagata. Because of their qualities and aspects, then such kind of liberation that is innumerable, inconceivable, and unpolluted, then that is Tathagata. That is liberation. We are fettered in samsara. And why is that? Because we don't understand this kind of teaching. And once we understand this kind of teaching, then that could be called liberation or Tathagata. In fact, the teaching over here, when it talks about liberation, the kind of liberation that is discussed is very different than those of the Shravaka or Theravada teachings. The Shravaka teachings are called the common vehicle, as well as the Mahayana teachings up to the second turning of the Dharma wheel. But in the third turning of the Dharma wheel, the teachings is in fact quite different. It talks about we have intrinsically already inherent quality like this that is already liberated. The only difference and the only thing that bounds us to liberation is that we don't recognize, and we don't recognize this nature. We don't know that we have this nature. If you have time, I really hope that you could read into the Parinirvana Sutra, where Mahakashyapa asked the Buddha, saying that according to what you've taught, then the Tathagata must have already attained enlightenment. Then why? But then how could you explain that if you had already eradicated the ocean of afflictions, why did you then get married with Yashodhara, and then give birth to Rahula, and then practiced for 5 years, and then went through all these hardships to attain enlightenment again? What is the point of all these if you were already enlightenment? Then the Buddha replied to Mahakashyapa, saying that, in fact, I've already attained enlightenment. But such kind of enlightenment is not that I've already eradicated the ocean of afflictions in order to attain liberation. It is because I am already liberated. But because I have not eradicated the oceans of liberation, I then was reborn in this human realm and got married and gave birth to Rahula. Therefore, the Buddha's nature is not like that. He was already liberated. So in the Mahaparinirvana Sutra, it taught this teaching. That was the last teaching. This kind of teaching is not given in the first turning and the second turning of the Dharma wheel, which could make lots of people very much confused. They may probably feel that, how would you explain that? Why would you say that? They would have all kinds of confusions. In fact, the truth of the Dharma is just like so. According to the Great Heap Jewel Sutra, it says that whether the Buddha appears in this world or not, the nature of all phenomena does not increase or decrease. It cannot be increased or decreased under any circumstances, for the nature of all phenomena permanently exists and is unchangeable. So, the Buddha was born or not, the nature of the Dharma is already like this, is in fact just like that. Is that. And this kind of teaching is very much different than those of the teachings included in Theravada teachings. The majority numbers of Buddhists, in fact, their understanding is based on the Theravada teaching. They are not well educated in terms of the Mahayana teachings. And the Mahayana teachings are somewhat different, and sometimes even would completely cut through your usual habitual patterns of understanding what Dharma is. When people are looking at other people saying that, well, this person really have lots of anger, that's terrible, he's not a good practitioner. But in fact, from the Mahayana, the true Mahayana teaching, you can say that if this person have lots of anger, he also have lots of potential for the great mirror-like wisdom. And if this couple are arguing at home a lot, have lots of anger, it is then based on their great mirror-like wisdom. And if they were to argue a lot, it means that they still have lots of love between them. If they don't argue, then it means that they don't have such wisdom. And such kind of anger is no other than great manifestation of the primordial wisdom. But to see such nature is the key. And it is only of this very small number of people who could see that. The Theravada practitioners, they wouldn't say that, oh, wow, you're so angry, therefore you must have lots of the great mirror-like wisdom. The Theravada practitioners won't say that at all. The Theravadas would take the greed and anger and all of those poisons as something very solid and should be eradicated and abandoned right away. But in the third turning of the wheel of Dharma teaching, it talks about, in fact, when you see the nature of it, then in all of these kind of afflictions would only appear just as the ripples on the water. So this kind of teaching is quite rare in this society nowadays. Now, next one, it is with the examples. Detailed explanation of these stated above by means of examples, and the first one is by the example of the painter. Suppose that some painters master their craft, each with respect to a different part of the body, so that whichever part one would know how to do, he would not succeed with any other part. In fact, lots of artists nowadays, they work with a whole studio to finish a painting because they know different aspects they're proficient in different aspects or different parts of the body. Some are really good at painting the head, some are really good at painting the eyes, the nose, ears, and so on. They only know how to paint certain parts really well. So different people have to work together to then paint together. It's kind of like the Western medicine. If you had certain sickness or illness in certain areas, then you go to those specific departments to look at what's wrong with your body, just like that. The painters are like so. Some people then are very good at painting certain parts, and if the person who's very good at painting the head, then this person is has left the country and not able to join the whole group to finish the painting, then it's very difficult for this whole painting to be successfully finished. Therefore, they have to work as a group. Maybe all the other people have already painted excellently, but there's only one that is missing. Then this painting won't be successful. The next one says that then the king, the ruler of the country, hands them a canvas and gives the order: "You all gather and paint my image on this." So he gives this canvas to all the painters, only one canvas, and then asks them to gather together and paint the king's image. You have to paint me really beautifully. You have to paint my natural beauty. Just like lots of people would require others to take very good photos of them. Well, it's rather very difficult if you don't look like a model, or if you don't look that beautiful. It's very difficult to make you beautiful with a photo. And lots of times they don't get very satisfied with the photographer. So you can't really blame it to the photographer. You rather should think that it's your own problem. So I'm not sure how the king looks. In fact, in our world, there is a similar story. In China mainland, there was an emperor around the late Tang Dynasty, and his name is Li Keyuan, and he had only one eye. He was half blind, and he was a cripple as well. So he asked lots of painters to paint him, and require them to paint him really well, very beautiful and very handsome. And the first painter, when he approaches and painted this king, and painted him really handsome, and then the king, after seeing the picture, seeing the painting, he said, "This is not me. This is not me at all. I don't look like this." And then he gave the order and killed this painter. Then the second painter, he requested to come to his palace to paint him. Then this second painter, after learning the first painter's lesson, he painted him as who he is. So one eye blind and one leg crippled. And then this king said, "I can't let the later generation to see me like this." And then he killed this second painter as well. And then the third painter approaches. The third painter very creatively posed this king. He then painted this king from a profile perspective, where he only painted him with one eye, with a good eye, and then he made the king stepping on the stone with the crippled leg. So, from the painter's perspective, he did paint according to reality, but he skillfully hid all the defects of this emperor. Also, over here, I would like to show you some slides. The same story of Napoleon. In fact, Napoleon is not very tall, rather very short at that time. And his painter then posed Napoleon on the horse to hide his lack of height. Sometimes you can then read into the story of Napoleon as well, and the paintings. Chuchu Khenpo Chuchu, when he talked about the Tokuuba, that is his teacher. In fact, lots of disciples would talk about the Tokuuba being really handsome when he's riding a horse. In fact, he doesn't, because Lama Wuba is rather very short, and when he's riding the horse, it doesn't look very good. And so Lama Wuba would always ride on the horse and kind of show off by saying, "Look, how do I look right now?" And he would say that, in fact, when it comes to Madhyamika and teachings, the Lama is really good. But when it comes to relating to how people praise them and praise him, he doesn't really have he doesn't have lots of wisdom to differentiate the true praise from the false ones. So that's one aspect, and then the second one I would like to say. Peter Rubens is a very good painter. In fact, he used this system of painting in studios. He would employ different people who paint very good in certain aspect and then gather them together to finish one painting. When we went to Spain or Italy, in Europe, we can see lots of the paintings by Rubens exhibited in different galleries. The previous painting I showed you, it was a story stated in the Bible where it talks about the king give the order to kill the babies, the infants below age of 2. And you can see, just looking at his painting, in fact, your eyes are always circulating around the painting. Lots of scholars would feel that if Rubens were to be born in this age, he would be a great animator, because his painting is quite animate and very dynamic. So he would make draft or thumbnail, and then his painters who work under him, or his disciples, students, and other painters would then paint such draft, and they all have different tasks. Some would paint the foot, some would paint the face. So the artists, they have some very special energy that he could express in his painting. Lankaji, who was a great Thangka painter, he lived around the era that was 300 years ago, so 17th or 18th century. At that time, he would paint in very small scale, on a very small tree or leaf. In fact, lots of things are included. Very meticulous paintings. Some birds could be on the small leaves that's painted on the Thangka. So this Thangka painter, it is said that he had received the blessings from Padmasambhava, and because of some conflicts among different schools and sects, therefore he couldn't paint Padmasambhava on every painting. Therefore, he would paint a tiny Padmasambhava in the pupil of a lama that he would paint in a rather average size. If you were to zoom into certain parts of his painting, a leaf, a flower, you'll be able to see after it is 10 times or 100 times zoomed, lots of detailed things are included. And they're not fuzzy at all. They're in fact very meticulously painted and very detailedly painted and described. The study of his Tanka is in fact a project that we're doing right now. Anyhow, Peter Rubens' painting is quite famous and well known in the West. Majority of his paintings are done by his studios in Qinghai province, in Sichuan province, usually in Nepal as well. In fact, usually what happens is that lots of artists are really famous, but their paintings are not done by themselves. The majority part of their paintings are painted by others. It is only their eyes are painted by the masters because they're very good at doing that, and it's the most crucial part. Someone brought a large Tanka painting of Padmasambhava from Nepal or India somewhere. Anyhow, I was very happy to look at this, and especially when he told me that this painting was painted by a great master. And on one hand, I was very happy, but on the other, I kind of doubted if that painter finished the whole thing. Anyhow, in fact, I feel that the painters have very special strength and energy and creativity in terms of painting. But Van Gogh, Vincent van Gogh is rather very different than those of the painters who had large studios and lots of employees. Van Gogh, he painted by himself, such as his self-portrait. He was extremely poor, and nobody knew at that time his painting would be such a good seller after 100 years of his passing. So Van Gogh was pursuing a woman but rejected, and then he cut off his ear and sent it to that woman to pursue her, and then mailed it to the woman. Sometimes I think artists, they could have some quite crazy and outrageous actions. Anyhow, some artists would paint in studio, and some, like Vincent van Gogh, would paint solo. So anyhow, the metaphor is in fact quite important. The king said that you have to paint my painting, my image. And then the others are painting, and out of the group of painters, one of them then left the country and leave for another country. And then because of his leave, the whole group cannot finish the entire painting. Just like in a group, sometimes in terms of management, if one key person left the group, lots of the management tasks cannot be done properly. Just like that, once this one painter leaves, and this king cannot receive a complete painting of his image, just as the whole body is complete but the head is empty. So this is a metaphor, and I think that it's very easy to understand that a key person is missing from the group. Then how could this painting be done properly? In fact, a perfect painting, in terms of creating something perfect or complete, each part is important. You cannot have only one eye but not the other eye. You cannot have one leg but not the other leg. In fact, if you were to lose one key painter to finish a certain part of the painting, then it cannot be a non-complete painting. And then it says that the cause. It says that all of the different kind of qualities, the 6 paramitas, the generosity, morality, patience, and diligence, and samadhi or meditation, and the wisdom paramita. All of these paramitas are the individual, are the different painters within the whole group. So without either one of them, then the painting cannot be completed. Similarly, without any one of the paramitas, then the qualities cannot be complete. Over here, it says that emptiness endowed with all supreme aspects. The emptiness is in fact not voidness. It is the emptiness that is endowed with all supreme aspects. According to Kala Chakra, where it talks about how all phenomena is empty, and it is called the great compassionate treasure. In fact, all the merits are already inherently existent. The 6 paramitas, the wisdom of 6 paramitas are already inherently complete. And in this kind of emptiness, in the union of emptiness and luminosity is already complete. So in this kind of qualities, just as how if one painter is not there, then the whole painting cannot be completed, then without any one of the qualities, then the 6 paramitas cannot be complete. The qualities cannot be complete. Lots of people would say that I don't have to have morality, I don't have to have generosity and patience. I'm a Mahayati practitioner. Then you can look at yourself and reflect upon yourself throughout this teaching. In fact, the 6 qualities, if the 6 qualities are not complete, how could you realize the Dharmakaya? If you were to have all the other 5 but not morality, then it is not complete. Without either one of them, it is not complete. So you need all of them. According to the Great Heap of Jewels, the Sutra of Great Heap of Jewels, it then stated that, rather it is according to the Mahasamgata Sutra, where it says that if one lacks perfect accomplishment, even in one activity, one cannot be titled as the Tathagata with complete qualities. Therefore, only after every activity is accomplished, one is said to have attained the unsurpassable Bodhi. This is quite important. And next one is using the metaphor of the sun, or the example of the sun, which then talks about the 4 or 3 kinds of qualities accordingly. illuminating and radiating and purifying and inseparable from each other. Analytical wisdom, primordial wisdom, and total liberation corresponds to the light rays and orb of the sun. So it talks about the four kinds of qualities with a metaphor. The first one is the wisdom of suchness, and then the wisdom of omniscience. As well as the quality of liberation. So those are the three aspects that is attained at the level of Buddhahood: the wisdom of suchness, wisdom of omniscience, and qualities of liberation. So it has the illuminating aspect, that is then the quality of wisdom of omniscience. So it could illuminate all phenomena. It has the quality of radiating, that is the wisdom of suchness. And then the purify is the quality that is included in the qualities of liberation. So illuminating, radiating, and purifying. Also, on top of that is the inseparability of all the three stated above. As it is stated before, it is indivisible. So using the example of the sun, it has the quality of illuminating, it has the quality to shine through, and it has the quality of pure. So these three qualities are no difference and are not of two than with the sun. And then last stanza, it says that there is no other nirvana than this stanza is in fact constantly quoted by others. So explanation of Buddhahood as being nirvana. One will therefore not attain nirvana without attaining the state of Buddhahood, just as one could not see the sun if one were to eliminate its light and its rays. All the Shravakas and Pratika Buddhas, all of these, without attaining Buddhahood, that you cannot call them attained nirvana. For the same reason, the true nirvana is to attain the state of Buddhahood. According to the sutra, it says that according to the sutra, it says that there's no Buddha. In fact, Buddhahood is nirvana, and no other than Dharmakaya. So last time when we talked about how Phuntsok Rinpoche taught on there's no other nirvana, there's no Buddha other than Buddha. There's no nirvana. So it's very similar, where it talks about how the different kind of accomplishment and realizations attained by mundane beings, by the Shravakas, by the Pratika Buddhas. In fact, such kind of attainment cannot be called nirvana, and we'll stop here today.
Sunum dui tamshi zubanya tonani bejana panshija jirgana shiralon turbaya Jabin zolin doa dolvara shon diba sanji
Hamdam Shobjayam Jitin Dagna Kam Jigim Chod Parakir Kayam Abshin de Taram Yeravaram Zamzo Shanchiburim Beresan Divsion Jobjagale Janam Janyanaba Teta Jachirion Sutta Parakir Shanchibishawan Joshir Yeravatan Sandi Jirab the Conversation Shobji Simjan Ganam Janyanaba Teta Tatan Mil Devarakir Broa Kanje Chuji Tunamanam Tambaram Kirjarewa Depression Shanchibab Shurpatana Dabshirajam Broa Kandajiwa Tambarakir Sarabagandam Champur Divana Tadabdana Raptam Jorisho Jarva Ganji Jisam Hobjarative Zambo Shirbayon Zobshirijan Saratamam Jurba Jamilion Tagapa Tata Maniam Jamila Juberisho Taya Katalatan of Janakala Jalavama Tatama Yakanamanda Doa Ganji Janam Chatambar Tamjala Katab Daki Chutanando Tesham Perulation Larabsunadim Sanchibasim Namiam Jilma Ribagan Majaparatir Pata, Teta Mani, Yosef Shanvaresho, Litam Yulmon, the Jilinam, Juljan Jitin and Doanam Zayan, Chatara Panamochi, Machapabjan, Yeradanam Karatopa, Metrevjan, Jangam Chundam Shunam Chazam, Baran, Sodu, Alarata, Javarashid, Deva Tagalam, Doakam Gorajan, Doatam Jadadan, Pambarashid. Shanchibib Shurbayon Zubshinijan, Simchana Takam Shulatam Tambaramji, Zambov Shurbatana Raptunajan, Maom Karabak and Deb Shurbarajir, Dakim Jadam Somberakam Shulabat, Tatan, Tatan, Droparasho, Litang Namatana Simjijo, Shurbatadam or Lamachita Shella, Daglam Pambaram the bird of bird, Zambov Shulabat, Tumbanam. Tetagataya Tagata Chaparasho, Dedam Daginamia Yanamayo, Sandi Jim Kurvim Gombo Namam Gom Samatadam the Cape Yaravata, Mawam Karbak and the Macho, Teta Layam Churpaja Cherevja. Tambu Chumzan Jam, Shanchib should back and then our if she lives on Bush or Panam Burjaya, Mawam Karbak and then Chelperja. Chapatam Jelatayam Koranam, Sunamagishi Tana Mazalami, Taptan Shirabatam Zanam Tarada, Yundan Kanji Mazalam Zotajer, Darchitana, Daniela Janam, De Jantar Samji, Machab Sardinam, Sardi de Winam Jibala, Shanjib Sharpab Shojam Tavarabja. Petra Mali Tamchilla Shozaya, Jazam Chula, Dear Zaman Salinelake, Sardi Jamzo, Janam Jamzo Tam, Karaba Jamzo Chuchar of Tamji, Sonchi and Lagajamso, Dakalati, Jalavak and Yan Laganam Daba, Doak and Jim Samba Chavjanaya, Sardi Sola Tatam Jiparabja. Tisamam Sharpa Jaravatam Chadatam, Kurulu, Saranamaratam, Koravaya. Tetakaya soyam abzalala loyet of jib dagjanaratamji Maam karpatam janamji breya kachi shikib dagjamji brabja Kayam karpate samantarte kachin chaji jina jipershid Tisamam sharpa maya sange ka tetakachi chila daketa Tata de dakanam joyalala Yamara kirpanam taratuk jimji Kaya Tisaman Taka Jam Kolapa Tita Derchitanta Mambara Tetra Yarava Daga Janama Golamji Kaya Mabshin Jitin Durmanam Shanchiverim Beram Sanjam Korlom Kor Yanganandi Parapta Jam Tartunam Gombo Kanji Tonta Damsho Kandam Nirvim Zimchulutunam Dai Kani Goya Tapa Top Tagada Kanda yondan sharbat namadan, Kanda chapab shamba taqatov, Kanim givim sunamatov dagatan, Chagpa me parakirpa yashitov, Sherabat habdan damzan of dagagib, Shanchabat namayan dagaparabshed, Lichet namayon sat of shirajam, Numot namakandam jambarabshed, Lajet namato miller of shirajam, Zombo sharbat nabzaparabj. Janama jamzo number of shirajam, Simchan jamzo tana number, Chunama jamzo raptum tom shirajam, Yashi jamzo rapta toparabshed, Japa jamzo number of shirajam, Mulama jamzo yonsa zoparabshed, Sandi jamzo raptum chup shirajam, Karapa jamsur mucho japarabja. Kaya di zaman sharpa jaravaya, Shanchib shurba, Molam shidranam, Zambal shirbeep, Shanchib sardine, Tekanam daki mani zoparabja, Jarava kanje tijata wapa, Kanga mana kandab zamjibsha, Kiba de dam zombaraja babshir, Givan the tagatam jalarabdavno, Litang agda yiljanam dagajam, Shurbanam dagajanam yon dagaba. Zambum keep em Jemdawa, Tim Derep the John de Dam Sombersho. Kanigi was on board Jabberm, Jam Holajin, Molaman Jerberj, Mawam Karabak and the Majo, Dave Shama Mani Zoberj. Shabbat say you the Macaraju, Yundanam Johns have zone made Beresho. Chapat and Melepan in nature. They tagam charpat, Hamjalam Salavarabja. Namkim Tartu Kirpachats and Burr Simchananim Tayan Divjanande. Nitam Yamon Tajarabab, Daga Molam and Tayan Tetsam. Kayam Shokji Janam and Tai, Barin Chinem Gentiv Jalavan La Pella, Hadam Yov Devan Chanamaja, Jangab Daniela Karparam Parabavi. Kangi over Jerbund to Nim, Shanchavan Chokuji Suramosha, Lanjigazamiam Tarpan Jerpanam, Sonamatam Chokdam Damjero. Kangi some shit the monument at the pit in and son time to the power and yer. Then a dog and better power in now I'm tight on them Yerenton. They tagan yell param yell they were and so much him the rayon they tagan like para. Kanda Zambo te on gender, they taram for a mato division and yer. Some milling up with the deep and Ganga Messi won't give she better. They Zambo should band of Judana, yet the money also shower and yer. Yeshi dana zitam sanam daritam katavanam tam dambaram yer, that tam bertam buddhi matab, Jitinism bokanam chilparam yer. Shanchibisha one drone the dim yerim do, Sony sim chanam ham shirtem dirty. Shanchibas are dim kurlor of the kura, then the meditam jibat ham jalatal. Kayam zambu shirpa mulam and dum chalatan tuntamelonaya. Then and very member, San Jim Chinam, Shanchaman chola, sumyam of shitaji. Jamhodawa chitterim kimbata, Kandab zambu te on division and day. Teta Ganjism, the love sheriff, gave and the Tagatam Chataraptamo. Daka gave us a and the canon jam, Zambo of Shirapta Moravia. Danam Chivi, Tiv Shirajapana, Japatam Chatatanam Shamsalate, Monsamano, and Taim, Tentone, Deva Changes on the Rabdundro. Tirson in Mulamada Tagajam, Tamchalamanim, Wundam, Girvarasho, the Tagamani, Daki, also gone, Jitin and Chitula Simchan and Pambarabja. Jalavam, Jalam Corazon, Gavatir, Pamotam, back and Tanzilishi. Now I'm the Jeremy. On Samanda, Lontan and Bayam, the Gator to show. Ternam Daki Lontanam Tunim to the Bambo, she wam to Jay, Loyet of Chief Shojanam Sayan, Simjanam La Pamba Mamboja. Zambu should be Mulamadumba, Giwa, Jonathan Dakim Shasaba, Tenam Dova Mulamagewanam, Kachi Chiki, Tamjalam Jervaresho, Kayam Zambu should band them, Pim, Sunam Tai, Tambak on Tovati, Doa them Gulam Shiver of Shawanam, Ullawakamila Banira Batoperesho. Molame Jelapun, the Tagan Chokra, Zoom, Tai, Dua, Kanapam Shilija, Kandab Zambo, Jambu, Jean Travete, Nansoni, Namamali, Sandir, Kasamanib, Shanavadan, Chunila, Mandirab, Dimba, Shanlavada. Dimdanam of Shalandam Bush and the Baji, Chataramo, Molam and Peresho, Taniata, Pansan and Jaya, Awan Budana, so high by me, Tiji, Durji, and Jovinji, Rabanam Revenira, Balamba, Caramonto, Ripper, what Jim, she made the Panzo, Javla, sort of ad, Tijida Gombush and the Banyan Lazy. Chitam deeper of Shinjilo Sorta Todum Asalanga Melata and River Kim the Pambam drove. Elas enginam babashi bazalam amilatam zoralamba nyam tagam dortapa yashi no am jong zulujam sojanam ibanyam diratom donkim jibzanam mala zurvan devakatse manjir durji shi sultan chanin the sojan gorlo chevenim jam chayon tam zir samayem tam do pandi rang to chung chir jamni jarva tirchit zamo tam thadana tam jong jam sunim thi to yamela laksam dim burim dutun rap gim Barajirajim Lapa Samdan Armim Zambayam Bepan Soji Nimdra Yonkajan Tatab Shadram Shavitadam Divar Taptanam Shakuntaram Deep Trashi Shoy Sada